Hi everybody and welcome to Module 6. During this module, we are going to be talking about social media and sports. If you think about how much you use your phone and how much time you spend on social media, it's probably a lot more than we would all like to admit. Smartphone users last year had an average of about 2 hours a day that they were on their phone specifically on social media. And that's up from just over an hour and a half from the year before. So social media use is on the rise. When we think about that, when we recognize that social media is very valuable across the asset of sport marketing, and our sports marketers are able to use different platforms to interact with their customers and give fans a message in a way that they want and that the users are selecting to engage with. So the unique thing about social media is that users or followers are selecting to participate and follow a particular platform and then a particular team or brand or organization on that platform. Versus traditional forms of marketing, users usually don't have the option of whether or not they're consuming that content. A radio advertisement will come across the radio, and you can't do anything about it. You might be able to flip the channel, but it's usually going to be there. A television commercial will be there. Billboard signs will be there. Advertisements within arenas will be there. But on social media, you're selecting to engage with that particular team, brand, or organization. So sports marketers are in a very unique spot that this is a place that they know consumers are coming to actually engage with their content because they enjoy that brand, that product, or that team. Fans not only get information, but they get more access to teams, brands, and organizations. Usually that information is in real time. They're getting more information. They could get breaking news, fun promotions. There's also special offers through social media, and of course, a lot of different contests and giveaways. So social media is not just used for information, but it's also for actions. So brands, teams, and organizations will try to use their social media platforms to drive fans to their website. And why are they trying to drive you to their website? Because usually on their website is where they're going to generate revenue. For the most part, you will purchase tickets on their social media or on their website. You will buy merchandise on their website. So they're trying to drive you to their website. Through social media, you're also engaging with videos, you're looking at photos, you're entering sweeps contests, and like I just mentioned, they're driving your fan behavior to purchase tickets or to purchase merchandise or different types of products. So it's not just content that is being sent out to you. Teams, organizations, and brands are trying to engage with you, and they're trying to influence your behavior on social media. As some of you I've had in a few of my classes before, and I shared this story, but I had the opportunity to work for the Detroit Tigers, and I managed their social media accounts. So at the time, Major League Baseball was in a really unique place because around the year 2000, every single Major League Baseball club sold their rights digitally to Major League Baseball. So the Tigers, the Cubs, the Astros, the Nationals. It's very fitting right now that we're talking about baseball because it is the World Series that's going on. But around the year 2000, club owners did not know what to do with this thing called the internet. I know that doesn't seem like something we can wrap our head around right now, but almost 20 years ago, business owners or club owners didn't know what the internet was and they didn't know how to utilize it. So Major League Baseball created a brand or created an arm of their business called Major League Baseball Advanced Media. And their sole responsibility was to manage all of the digital opportunities for clubs. At the time, the only digital real opportunity were their websites. So all the clubs sold their rights digitally to Major League Baseball. And what Major League Baseball in exchange did is they ran all of the clubs' websites. So if you go to tigers.com, cubs.com, astros.com, you'll see a very similar interface. And that's number one, done by design because it's all run out of Major League Baseball Advanced Media, but also because they recognized that fans of the Tigers might want to go visit the White Sox. They might want to go take the opportunity to travel to Toronto when the Tigers are playing in Toronto. And if they're used to operating tigers.com, they also want to be able to easily navigate the Blue Jays website or the White Sox website and not feel like they have to reintroduce themselves to a brand new website every time they want to try to visit another club. Or maybe their favorite star has been traded to another organization and they want to follow up on statistics. They wanted to make it really easy for fans of baseball to interact with the website in a very easy way. Now, of course, there are some customizations and some sites are unique in the sense that the color schemes are different. The content is obviously going to be result driven in how the team is actually doing. But for the most part, the websites are going to look very similar. And that is by design. Those are some marketers that got in a room and said, hey, we feel like there's a benefit based on statistical research or analytical research, market research, all the things that we've talked about before, that we feel like these decisions are going to best suit our customers. And it's been successful so far. So at the time, it was just websites. But now, digital media has become so much more than just a website. So around the year 2010, we had an explosion of social media platforms. So I'll back it up a couple years. There was MySpace. Pinterest was just starting to come onto the scene. Twitter, Facebook, they were all starting to become really popular. And clubs knew that they wanted to be on this space. So again, because they didn't know how to run it, Major League Baseball was running all of these platforms on behalf of these organizations. These organizations in the year 2010 were like, wait a minute, pump the brakes. We feel like we've got a better inside track of what's happening within our organization. We have some insight information that we know that our fans want to see, what's happening around our ballpark every day that you guys can't do in New York. So they decided to hire in-house digital social media experts. And that was my job. I was one of the first in-house coordinators of digital media that the club or the league really hired. So the Detroit Tigers were one of the first clubs to have somebody in-house to do this. Of course, they didn't just give me free reign. I was working with somebody from Major League Baseball, and that was a very step-by-step process. So everything that I posted to Twitter and Facebook had to have a direct link back to Tigers.com. Why? I already mentioned it, because Tigers.com is where they created their revenue. That's where they generated all of their money online. So without question, anything that I posted to Facebook had to have a link that sent you back to Tigers.com. So if it didn't, and there wasn't a natural link to say, hey, I can't just post a picture of what the ballpark looked like. I'd have to say, oh, and by the way, you can also buy tickets to the upcoming game, or did you know there's this great merchandise or authentic piece of merchandise that you can purchase. So it was very strategic, and it was very what's the word I'm looking for? Very structured. So there wasn't a lot of the off-the-cuff, quick, witty content that you see on our social media platforms nowadays. It was very structured. It was very organized, and everything was deliberate. Nothing was quick and off the cuff. Now it's very different, and the landscape is changed vastly. Everything is driven on digital platforms. So of course our traditional platforms are still very popular, but the fastest growing are all of our digital platforms. So talking about social media and sport these next couple weeks is going to be really important to make sure that not only do you know the basics about sport marketing that we've discussed so far in this course, but you know the trends and you know where the market is going. It's exciting to be on social media. It's fun to be on social media, but you can get in trouble very quickly on social media. So it's important to think things through, plan things out, maybe have somebody to read over a tweet or a post before you actually send it out to the internet, because someone's going to see it, someone's going to take a screenshot, and you can't take it back after that. So make sure you read through all the different sections of this week's module, or the next 2 weeks module, because there's a lot of great content in there. Utilizing social media is really important in the sport marketing world, because while I used an example of a larger sport organization in the Tigers, it doesn't matter what size of an organization you are. Every size, every type, every organization, whether you're small, local community, or you're a large brand, you can utilize social media and you can interact with each other. It's not just one way. social media is a two-way street, which is really great about these platforms and the access that we have to interacting not only with customers and fans and brands, but interacting and cross-promoting between brands. So during this module, we are going to take a look at all of the content that I just talked about, and how brands can be smart and strategic and really utilize social media in a way that benefits them and benefits their customers. So at the end, your assessment for this week will be looking at a company called Dude Perfect. If you haven't come across them yet on the internet, this will be fun for you. If you have, then you should also be excited about this week's assessment. So if you have any questions about anything, let me know. I'm here to help you guys. I have gotten a few emails from some of you. Hopefully I've been helpful. So if you have any questions, let me know. I am at the Kicking It With Your Professor on Tuesdays in the Education Building room 300 from 11:30 to 1. So you can always stop in and say hi. And we have our brand new Sport Administration Management Association student organization that has just started. Some pretty exciting things coming up over the next few months. Some tours of some pretty cool facilities, the opportunities to interface with some pretty exciting people in the sport industry here in Detroit. So you have to sign up to be part of the student organization to have access to some of those tours and special events. So make sure that you keep your eye on your email. You can check them out on social media. And of course, I'll post it here within the module. But if you have any questions, let me know. Until then, best of luck. And I look forward to reading all of your assignments at the end of the module. Thanks, everybody.